Hello, my name is Chad Thorson, and I'm with the Burleigh County Soil Conservation District. And I'm going to be talking today about our Arboretum out at Minokin. Here in this picture here, we got, there was some established tree rows out there. I started in 2016 for Burleigh County SCD, and they had already had some trees established. Here's some of those. Got some cranberries there, viburnum in the background, some black currants. But history about the farm. The farm was purchased by the SCD. The land was in 2009. Here's a satellite image of the area. You can see there's not much there at that time. Basically just a little building down there. Location of the farm is about 10 miles east of Bismarck. Not too far from town there. So when I started, they had talked about doing an arboretum out there, and so with the already established trees in that area, we looked at the soils. Obviously you can see there to the west, it's a CTSG1. That was better than ideal, I guess, as far as planting trees. To the east there, southeast, there's a CTSG of 5. That's not the worst case scenario, but and then there's a wet area there to the north up in this area. This is our tree shed, and then this is just cold storage here. So this is the area that we decided to put the arboretum. As you can see there, starting from the left in 2013. These are some of the rows that Daryl put in. There's ones here along the road. There was already a lot of diversity in those rows, but we wanted a place where anybody coming to purchase trees or any visitor could come and see pretty much whatever tree we would have for sale or available. They could go down to that area and look and see what that would look like. And next photo here, 2014, you can see Daryl added a lot of tree rows in this area. And like I said, there is a lot of diversity in there. But we wanted each tree to be available to look at. So putting a plan together, started drawing, started putting some things together, and I had some pretty elaborate ones. Here's one of my drawings here that I thought would be cool. I thought it would be awesome and elaborate, and then I decided that wouldn't be very functional for mowing and stuff like that. So then decided to make it simple. You can fit a lot of trees in here in this area. And obviously you can see there, that was before auto steer. But that was 2018 when it was started. The spacing of the trees, we got 20 feet in between the tree rows. We wanted to make sure that they would be able to branch out and fill out and not be kind of growing into each other necessarily like a shelter belt. We wanted to have a good example of what each tree or shrub would look like. So between the rows, we have 20 feet, easy to maneuver vehicles through there if need be. The taller trees to the north, they're spaced at 20 feet in the row, and the shrubs are 10 feet apart. Record keeping, we wanted to make sure that we knew where each tree was before we had the signage out there so we can keep track. There is over 80 trees and shrubs out there. The south rows is mostly shrubs. Basically anything on the shrub list from Lincoln Oaks or the nurseries is in those rows. We also have a few other ones. We have some honeyberries, some cherries, and some other things that we added in there. But row 5, as you move north, that's mainly fruit trees. We did experiment with some, I don't know, I guess borderline trees. On the east side of row 5, we tried some persimmon and pawpaws. They're no longer in there. I was hopeful that they would make it, but the 2 years I tried them and that was not going to work. So as you move north in the rows, you got some shade trees, and then row 2 is the Evergreen Row. Not a ton to pick from for this site, but have as many as I could find in there. Labels, we ordered some labels for the trees, so if a producer, customer wants to come, or visitor to the farm, they can just walk through there and everything's labeled. Most everything's labeled in there. There's some newer ones that we got to get some more signs for, but it's kind of nice. You can see them in the background there, the plaques. We did everything that was planted out there was started from a seedling, from bare root seedling. So that was kind of one thing I would probably do different in especially the shade trees and the evergreens. They're a little slow to get going, so I probably should have tried to get some potted trees or something bigger so they can get established a little bit quicker. But the shrubs, that, I don't know, in my opinion, I don't think that made a huge difference. They took off, and within a few years they're pretty good size. We try to do a lot of experimenting out there as far as like it says there, varieties of trees, tree tubes. Some trees will tube, some we don't. We do have to keep up with them, and once they get established enough, the tree tubes do come off. Some rows have wood chips on them, some don't. Wood chips is a great option, but the weeds, there's a weed problem out there, and bindweed absolutely is a problem in the wood chips. So that's just something we gotta keep up on. Tree mats, you can see the far right photo here. We try some different tree mats out there and see what kind of works, what doesn't. And so we just kind of keep messing around with that. Some trees like tree tubes, like the hackberry, absolutely love them, respond very well to tree tubes, and they can be out the top of them in a very short period. Whereas other trees, here we have a buckeye here. I was out there and seeing that the buckeye just weren't, they almost got clogged up in the tree tube, and they weren't going up, and it was affecting the growth of it. So I went out there and I just took it off and figured that, well, that buckeyes don't like tree tubes, and there's other ones like that too. That was just an example I found. Mowing in between the tree rows, they're 20 feet apart in there. So last year was pretty dry, and so some of the trees out there are still seedlings. So we just mowed alongside of the fabric to kind of try to keep the wind off of the seedlings if possible. It also, in the fall, letting them go like that, letting the grass grow, it can catch some snow, hopefully, and then it also helps for the bugs and stuff, the pollinators and stuff out there, with leaving that in the wildlife. Grapes, we have some grapes out there. We weren't sure how we were gonna do the grapes in the arboretum, but one of our workers came up with this, with some fence posts and some, I don't know, I guess you call it hog wire, and some other stabilizing wire. Yeah, the grapes here pictured are, I don't know, they're not more than 3 years old. So that was, they grow like crazy once they take off. So that's kind of neat out there. Plums, get a lot of questions about the prairie red versus the native plums. As you can see in the picture there, the prairie red are the larger ones. Having them out there, it's a good indicator or examples of, so you can compare them. In my opinion, the native plum taste a lot better, and the skins aren't as hard. The prairie red, the skins are terribly hard, and um, they were not near as sweet or flavorful. Maybe I caught them at the wrong time. I don't know, but that was just an observation that I found out there. Other observations, fall of, or well, I guess 2019 was pretty wet. You can see the grass is pretty green there. So in the fall, the winterberry pictured there, they were kind of that lime green color turning pinkish, and they were really neat to see. They lasted that color for probably over 2 weeks. That was kind of neat. Last year I noticed that they didn't get that color at all. They kind of just went straight to that tan, went straight, and didn't really turn colors. So that was just some observations. The far right photo, there we have some Russian sage. That was just something I thought would be neat out there for some color when not really anything else is blooming late summer. That good pollinator attractant, and just something nice for visual. Maintenance, we try to keep up on the mowing and weeding. There's always weeds to pull out there. We just try to keep up the best we can. If anybody's ever looking for something to do while they're out there, feel free to pick some weeds when you're walking through. Replacing dead trees, not every tree makes it out there. Like I mentioned before, if I try it 2 years and it doesn't, 2 years in a row and it doesn't make it, we're going to try something else. We do a little bit of pruning out there. There's not a ton. The tree tubes do a lot of pruning for us on those trees, but there are a few that we gotta kind of keep up on so they don't get out of hand. There's a few wildlife out there, rabbits, deer, sometimes even goats, but yeah, they're not, rabbits and deer aren't a huge problem, but it's pretty frustrating when like the larch, I struggled to get those going, and then the one year that they actually took off, a deer got after them, so that was pretty frustrating. Future plans, I think the only thing besides just the general upkeep of the arboretum is we're going to try to put some tree rows in this area here along the wetland. Try to do some willows and poplar and stuff that I think they'll do a little bit better over here than they will over here. So that's in the future plans, but yeah, that's about it for now. And here, I guess with this image, you can kind of see here we have some wood chips, fabric, wood chips, fabric. So you can kind of pick that out on the aerial photo. Here's a few pictures, mostly fall pictures, I guess, but yeah, Russian sage in the summer, Russian almond in the spring, and then the rest of these are mostly fall pictures. It's kind of neat to walk through there and see the different colors. So that's about all I had. By no means so I know exactly how to put an arboretum together, but this is just kind of what we came up with and what we decided to do, and it seems to work well. I know it is a pretty good attractant for visitors out there. It's nice to walk through there and just kind of see the diversity out there and see all the different types of varieties. So everybody's welcome anytime you're in the area. Swing out and take a walk through. Thank you.